Hi, my name is Brian Muniz, and I would like to welcome you to my podcast, Perspectives, where today our very first guest will be Linda Muniz. That's right, my mom. We'll be speaking to mom about her life story and her struggles with domestic violence and how it has affected her life and her children's. As a survivor of domestic violence myself, I can tell you it is a very important subject and something we must really pay attention to. And when we see the red flags, we really need to act on them. I was 27 years old when I was going through a divorce, and my ex wife had me shot. At the time, I didn't want to believe it, and even till today, I have trouble understanding that someone would do that. But it is a fact of society and it is a fact of life that these things happen. So I invite you to watch this interview with my mom, Linda Muniz. Thank you. Hi, welcome to my first podcast, Perspectives, with Brian Muniz, and my very first guest, Linda Muniz, my mom.
Hello, thank you for having me. And I have a story, but I don't feel that it's unique to anything that's out
I
there.
think it's very unique for everything you've been through
Yeah.
and we've been through, and everybody I meet says you need to write a book. So
Oh boy.
this is part of it.
Okay.
This is part of it. I want to start, if we can, in West Virginia, because that's where Grandma and Grandpa are from. Or Grandpa's from more than Grandma, or
My dad.
your father's from more West Virginia than your
Yes,
mom was,
yes.
right?
Mom's St. Louis.
In
Yes.
St. Louis.
Yes.
Okay, so your
Yeah.
father grew up.
He grew up poor, but they had everything they needed. He grew up poor, but he had everything they needed. And that's coal mine country. So he didn't work in the coal mine. But my dad then made up his mind to go to the service, Army.
So, but you had family that did work in the coal mine.
Oh,
Right?
yes.
Coal miners,
yes. All my
and-
uncles.
Yeah, and they eventually passed from that stuff, or
Yes. Black lung.
yeah,
Yep.
and you still have family in West Virginia. Not to jump ahead, but anybody left?
Just nieces, nephews, distant cousins. Yeah, we stay in touch a little on Facebook, but not anything major.
Okay. Anything that really sticks out about West Virginia to you as growing up there? And
Yes, I loved going to my grandparents' house. My grandmother was very quiet, but she did everything. She was just perfect, in her duties. But she did everything. My grandfather was kind of sit back, nothing. He didn't really do a whole lot. But my grandmother, I learned a lot from her because she was very, very smooth and just calm. And you can learn from a person like that other than somebody that's up in the air all the time. But my aunts, especially my youngest aunt that just passed away about a year ago, and she was how do you say it? All the aunts were very like the grandma, very cold. I'm very calm, and just really honest, good people. Okay, and the way they dressed and everything, I learned from all of that. You would think, yeah, but that's so old. No, I learned from their demeanor. It was beautiful. I loved it there. We would go and in spurts, here and there to visit, and like okay, I personally, after so many years, I realized how important that was.
So in your family, there was you, your brothers. What? Tell me.
I had two brothers. Oldest brother was named Jim.
Jim was your oldest brother. How much older was he than you?
About a year and a half.
Okay.
And then me, and then my younger brother Ken.
Okay. How much younger is Kenny than you?
We're about 11 months apart.
Okay, so about a year almost.
Yeah.
A year there.
Yeah.
And everybody born in West Virginia.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Okay, so
Anyway,
your parents met in California when your father was
mom,
on leave,
right.
and your father was Army, Navy, what?
My dad was Army,
Army.
and my mom, she was just visiting there from St. Louis.
So
She
your
lived
mom
in
was
St.
visiting
Louis.
California.
Right. And she met my dad. I think it was some kind of gathering, some event or something that she went to. She had girlfriends and stuff. Maybe they were with her because I have a lot of pictures of mom with her girlfriends
Uh-huh.
in California. So maybe, that was going on. But still, she liked dad right away because he was a handsome guy. Very, very handsome guy.
And they were, how old were they? 19, 20?
No, 20s.
In the 20s?
Uh-huh.
But
Yeah,
not 23, right?
she must have
Like
gotten
21,
married.
22.
She must have gotten married when she was like 25, I
Oh,
want to
really?
say. Uh-huh.
Okay, a little
Yeah.
older than.
Yeah. She was born in 1919.
Okay.
So do the math.
43, I think. 40, 33, 40,
Yeah,
33.
there you go. Yep. And so the war was going on,
Right.
and he had to get back. He was on like a rest and recuperation break, which they give all the Army guys.
Now, they weren't married, they were just dating.
Yeah, just seeing each
They
other.
were seeing each other, right?
Right. But I'm not sure right when they got married because I don't think, no, she didn't come. They got married on that
She had
visit.
to end up in West Virginia somehow, right?
Yeah, but they
So-
got married on that visit when
Uh-huh.
she went.
They did get married
They did
on
get
that visit?
Yes.
Like a city hall thing, quickly
Yes.
get married and go off to the military stuff.
Right.
that way.
Exactly. Okay, so then she goes back home.
Right,
She
to-
leaves
to Missouri.
California.
Uh-huh.
She goes back home to St. Louis, and her parents are not at the house that she left. So she's wondering, well, what the heck?
But now I remember you saying that did she run away to get married? Because
No,
you said
no,
that
but
she left without
she left
letting them
because
know.
she was taking care of my grandma. She had breast cancer.
Okay.
And so mom was the caregiver.
In California?
No, in St.
In
Louis.
Missouri. Okay, I'm trying to
Yes.
figure out how the heck she went to California.
She just left. Yeah, she just left. It was like, okay, I'm going to take a vacation. Yeah, she just left.
Okay.
But they also, her family moved from that house in St. Louis.
Right.
Mom returns to St. Louis
They're
to the
not
house,
there.
and nobody's there. And she's like, oh, wow.
Right.
Well, and she returned home to St. Louis.
Just to get her things or to be there?
Yeah, just to go back and see her family and be with them.
Okay.
So she told them, when she connected, because she finally found out where they moved to. They moved to Chicago. And there was a reason behind that. My grandfather, her dad, was seeing a lady in the bar. He owned a tavern.
He owned a tavern, and they wanted to move to get him away from her, and just him to get away from her, and just leave it all behind and start fresh.
Yes. So then they moved
St. Louis to Chicago.
They lived here. I don't know how long they lived here, but probably a while.
So they were in Chicago now. And your father's in the military.
Right. Okay.
West Virginia is his home at this point still.
Right. So he comes home. She knew when he was returning.
He came back to her, basically.
Yes. And so she went to where he was in West Virginia.
Okay.
Yes. And then
they had your brother.
Well, my mom was the brains of the operation always,
right.
So she wanted to have a business, a little store. But she was looking for a place to live in Huntington, and
right.
and Dad when he came. Okay, so she found a little apartment with a restaurant
downstairs, right?
And so the guy that was running it, Mom stopped in for a sandwich, and she only saw one person, him, working like crazy.
Right.
And she said, "Do you need help here?" And he said yes. So she was, I don't know what you call that, short order cook or something. I don't know. Anyway, she pitched in. She did a really good job. And the register and the customers, because they would, I guess in those days when the guys got out of work, they'd all line up, outside their favorite hot dog and hamburger place, and that's what it was. And so she was, I mean, every day they had something a little different, and that was
Stocks
mom.
were up; they were making money.
Yeah, that's
good,
my
right?
mom. That's
So,
she thinks like that. So I thought, okay, they then Dad comes home,
right.
and
I'm sure he didn't like that.
he
probably
didn't
felt a
like
little
that
strange, but
situation. Her living
Right.
upstairs, the guy working downstairs, and
someone's got to be making love.
no,
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 But
no.
That's where guys go. I
And
don't
then yeah, right. Um, so Dad, Mom and Dad, they talked for a little bit,
know.
but that day when they conceived my brother, my oldest brother, um, yes, oldest
But
brother.
you were saying he was home for like a minute.
Yeah, he did what he had to do,
Right.
and he
The
went.
seed was dropped.
And he yes,
And he left.
He went back to his family for about 2 months.
West Virginia for 2 months before going off to the war.
No,
War's done.
he already that
War's
stopped
done.
already.
So he was coming back.
Yeah,
and getting
my
all
brother
ready for
was
all that.
born in 46.
Okay.
War was over.
Okay.
Yeah. So Dad's in West Virginia visiting his family.
Yeah.
2 years. I mean, 2 months, and then Mom's like, "When are you coming home?"
Right.
And
Pregnant.
she was sick as a dog. She told me she was so sick from the pregnancy, but still, And he told her, he said, "You better have this child 9 months to the day." Yeah, that we were together.
He had a tattoo on his arm.
And she did.
June 23rd.
And she did. 9 months to the day. Yeah. Yeah. But she wasn't doing that. And
Right, I know.
yeah, but Dad's mind,
Guys,
yeah, guys. Uh-huh. And so
we always go to the crazy spot, you know.
So they got through that. Baby was born. Dad's checking this kid out.
He's
Is
looking him over,
this
looking at
mine?
the toes, looking
Oh
at the
yeah,
back,
he's
the
looking.
hair,
But
hairline,
that
eyebrows.
oh, everything. He couldn't look anymore like my father when my father was a baby.
Really?
Yeah. So
Okay. So
there was some friction going on there between my brother and my dad. Okay. I mean, that was even when my dad was driving and my older brother was in the back with the little car, and he's running it along, like a felt thing back by the back window. He's running, and Dad got really angry. He put him out on the road, on the highway road, not a highway, but a two-way, and he put this little boy out on the road and drove off. He left him sitting there. I'm like, that's trauma. I mean, that's bad. That's bad.
What year was this?
And Mom was just broken about the whole thing. I'm sorry?
48, 49, before the 50s, right? It was like 19.
Oh, yeah. Well, he was born in 46. And he was born in August of 46. And he was probably 9 months old. And Dad put him out. Don't do the crazy stuff, to my car. Dad was like that about his things. He didn't want anybody, messing with his things.
Right.
So not only is claiming that maybe it's not his, but now it's building, Yeah, stupid.
They just didn't get along for some reason.
Yes, right. And that's the reason why my brother was in and out of delinquency homes ever since he was 9 years old. Now, Mom and Dad say, well, Mom told Dad, you're moving to Illinois because Illinois has jobs.
Okay.
And my dad was a real good mechanic. He didn't go to school for it until he came
so
here.
So you guys were kind of struggling in West Virginia.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the time that he had come here, there was a short little span where Mom didn't have money to buy any groceries. Dad was doing the best he could to send whatever he could, what he made here in Illinois.
Right.
But there wasn't enough. So
you said your mom had a grocery store or had a little business trying to do a little
something? She did. While we lived in that house, she did have a little grocery store downstairs. Yep.
So selling out of the house kind of
It was like,
Come to the front
it's
door,
like
living
these
room, come
houses that
in.
have the garage underneath.
Okay.
So that was kind of like what it was.
Left the garage and that was open. Stores open.
Yep.
Pretty much.
Mom was, I'm telling you, she was the one. She was a smart lady.
Uh-huh.
And so.
And what happened with that?
Well, Mom she was pregnant and she lost 6 babies.
Wow.
Yeah. We would have had 9
Whoa.
of us, but she lost 6. And
Keep trying. I mean, that's a lot. Not to give up, but dang, I would be sad and stop trying. No,
she wanted a little girl.
So did the 6 happen before the 3, or did the 3 fall consecutive, or was that like 2, 1?
The 3 fell
2,
consecutive, and then
the miscarriages.
Yeah, right.
Wow.
Yeah, 6, and it really took
So
a toll on her body.
They had their 3, and then all these 6 happened. It was like, we're done. This is crazy.
Yeah, right. Wow. She had to have a surgery and all that.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's good. I didn't know that.
It's sad. Yeah. So the last one was a little girl. She had a few boys in between and girl, but she wanted.
Months?
The last one was a little girl. She named her Elizabeth, and they had a little funeral for her because she passed away.
But how old was this?
The newborn.
Yeah.
Newborn.
I mean, it was born.
Newborn.
So did the 9 months.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Born.
Delivered the baby. Uh-huh.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that hurt Mom a lot right there. Because I can remember her now. I could see her, how she was dressed and how sad she was, and that she said the babies.
These other five also,
nothing.
So understand,
she was
full-term pregnancy through all 5 of them?
She didn't go full term. She couldn't. Her body just couldn't do it. Yeah. But she said, well, Dad just kept trying. He wanted more and whatever. But he came from a large family. My mother came from a large family too, but she didn't want one that big, but she, in those days, the wife and the husband, he ran the show pretty much, but my mom was the brains. She would tell him what to do. And she was the mastermind. And so anyway, she has this little girl. She passes away. They have a little funeral for her, little casket and everything. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was sad. And I was heartbroken because oh my God, I got a sister. I was so happy about that. And then Mom said, no, she died. And I'm like, wow. So that was that. Now, we have the store downstairs. That was nice. We had people coming from the neighborhood and bread, milk, pop, anything you wanted. Mom had it in there. It was stocked. So Mom went to the hospital because she needed that surgery and everything. So she went to the hospital, and while she's in there, Dad comes in. He's all happy. He says, "Oh, you're gonna just love this." Mom always had good stories about him. And she said, "Oh," he goes, "You're gonna love this." And she said, "What is it?" And he says, "I sold the store." She goes, "Oh, no, you didn't." "Yes, I sold the store." So she goes, "Well, what about the inventory?"
5,000, 15,000?
The inventory. "Oh, I sold it with the inventory."
Right, all of it, everything goes.
I don't know what amount, but it was very low. Dad gave away the store.
It wasn't
pretty much gave it away.
$250,000.
No,
I mean,
in those days, no.
I know, but still,
if it was 10,
he didn't make a buck,
or 8,
he
even.
lost. He lost.
She lost. She's the one that did all that, And she goes, "Oh no, you didn't." I mean, it really bothered her because she's a business person,
She put everything into it to make it happen.
And it worked. It worked.
It was working.
Yeah, she asked me to go down there and watch the store, and I couldn't wait because I loved candy bars and ice cream. And I went downstairs, and I'm grabbing candy bars, eating them like crazy. She said, "Just watch it for a few minutes. I'll come down later." Yeah, okay. So I grabbed the ice cream.
How old?
Oh, shoot. 9, I was probably
8, 9, 10?
8, between 8 and 10.
Almost moving from there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, and then, so I'm eating the ice cream, and I'm getting this headache because I'm shoving it in like crazy. And she comes down. She didn't see me. But she found out later, But then she said, "You need to take some groceries to this old man that lives up the ways there,
Okay.
and be sure, that if he's not there, leave it by his door. And what was his name? Applegate. I think his name was Applegate.
Okay.
Anyway, real old man.
Right.
And so I go up there, and he's not home. I sit down, and I'm looking at all them groceries. So I start eating the bananas. I ate them all. Ate them all. There must have been maybe 6. I don't know. Ate them all. Love bananas to this day. So, oh God.
Okay.
So the guy calls Mom,
Hide your bananas.
and he says, didn't I order bananas? She goes, yes, you did. And now she's looking at me, and he said, I didn't get any in the box because it was a box.
Uh-huh.
And she said, let me see what I got here, and I'll get some right up to you. So then she looks at me, and I'm like, oh boy, because not only was she the boss, but she was disciplinarian
Right.
also. And I was like, oh geez. All right, so I admitted I ate them. I ate the bananas, and he got what he needed and all that. So then, a couple of years pass, and I'm getting closer to 12, and my other brother, younger one's 11, and my older one's in the juvie home.
Right.
Someplace, okay?
Right.
But we all ended up coming here to Illinois, and we went to LaGrange, and I went to grade school there. I was in 8th grade at that point, going on 13.
Right.
So I was in 8th grade, and Ken was right behind me in the 7th grade.
Right.
So here we come into class. We're looking like country bumpkins, and we knew that. Me and my brother looked at each other like,
how'd you know?
Yeah, okay. Because we knew north and south.
Right, but what was the difference between other kids and you?
West Virginia was not south.
And I knew when I was poor and my shoes were mismatched or whatever. And so what?
Yeah.
What was the tell?
So Ken and I, we go in and we talk funny, first of all. And then I guess we dressed not like the Northerners.
West Virginia has an accent-ish? I mean...
Yes.
Okay.
Something. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And
okay. Everyone like Bunchy and...
yes.
And what's your husband's name?
Sheridan.
Sheridan.
It's
not Sheridan?
No.
Sheridan.
My brother still says it wrong.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, to this
I always
day.
call him Sheridan.
Yeah, I know. Everybody did.
Sheridan.
But I asked her one time, and Bunchy said Sheridan.
Sheridan.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
All right.
So we pack up. That was Mom's idea too. You're going to Illinois. So she packed him up, and he went, and he came up here. He went to school for mechanic. She told him, you want to get somewhere, you got to get some education, And so he did, and he passed. He did really good.
Right.
And he taught himself before all of that, with his own trucks and automobiles. And so, let's see, he worked in LaGrange. Hennebree was one of the companies he worked for.
So he was a mechanic, and you're going to school. You're in 8th grade.
I graduated 8th grade.
Then you went to high school.
I went to high school.
And what high school?
In LaGrange, Nazareth Academy.
Nazareth Academy for
all girls.
Years?
All girls, 4 years.
4 years.
All girls.
All girls school.
Yeah.
What year?
61.
61 to 65.
I graduated 65. Yeah.
And
so
go ahead.
I'm in the religion classroom at one time. I don't know if she was a nun or a lay person at the time, but they were switching, habits and regular street clothes,
Okay.
So I don't know. But anyway, I think she was regular street clothes.
Right.
So then the teacher, and so she said, she asked me a question, and I came back with an answer, but she read me like I was being cocky and that I said something out of line or whatever. And she said, okay, you're going to summer school. I said, okay. She goes, well, it's downtown. And from where I lived, it was like 40 miles, like 40 miles.
Okay.
and I had to
Train, bus?
had to take a Bluebird bus all summer long.
Right.
Highway on the highway. I had to be out there
Right.
to catch. Don't miss that bus because now you're going to
What
wait
time
another
is it?
hour.
Yeah, super
So
early.
I would get out of summer school, and I would take a bus to the bus stop
Right.
by the highway. That was on Route 66 at that time. That's what they called that road. And I would take it all the way home, just fine, and it worked out fine. And I'm thinking, well, one day I missed it like 3 times, and I said I better start walking. And I have really nice clothes and my nice shoes. At that point, I had nice shoes, and they were torn up by the time I got home. I didn't walk all the way home, 40 miles. I walked probably a good 5 at least in the heat. It was so hot. I get on this bus, I go home, and I'm okay. Well, in summer school, there was a guy that it was all boys high school, St. Philip Basilica High School.
What school did you? That's what I was gonna say. What school did you get sent to? Because you weren't obviously going to your school. You went sent to Chicago
St. Philip
to St.
Basilica.
Philip's High School.
Yeah.
All boys school.
Yes.
And if your friends or anything like that go to summer school with you,
no, they were all smart.
Everybody did their thing.
They knew how to act in front of the nuns.
Okay, so you're the only one going there.
Yeah.
Pretty much new person in
Chicago.
Yeah. I mean,
and I was just
in Chicago.
But I was I was okay. There, you'll see pictures later.
Right. No,
when I was that age.
Out of place or anything, but you didn't know anybody. You were all alone.
No, yeah, I was alone.
Right.
And I was okay with that. But then, I hear somebody behind me in the row over, and he's making a noise like, tss, tss. And every time I would turn around, then he'd raise his eyebrows up and down, like that was probably his. What do you call that, Brian? What do you call it?
That was his flirting mode. That was what what he did. That was his move, his go-to.
That's funny. Right? That's funny. Yeah, yeah. So
times have changed, huh?
Oh, yeah, I think so. Yeah, yeah.
Do that today, and then you're just gonna.
Jesus!
You're gonna get punched in the face or called a creep or
whatever. We had breaks, in the morning, and I got up and went by the window, and I just wanted to look outside.
Was he the only guy?
Oh no, class had a lot of guys in there.
Was he the only guy that liked you or came on to you?
No, there was another one. His name was Pete Kukurba.
Pete also.
Oh yeah, he was Ukrainian, and real nice guy. But Pete was nice too at that time.
That was the alternate, huh?
Yeah. Well, he came. He made it all the way out to see me at one time. He came all the way.
Pete, this other guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and that made an impression on me. I mean, come on.
Okay.
So, yeah. So anyway, the one with the eyebrows is the one that won me over.
Okay. So you say you were going. He was by the window.
Yeah, we're talking, and he said, "Where do you live?" And I told him. And he said, "No way." He thought I was lying, and I said, "No, I'm telling you the truth. That's where I live." And he said, "How do you get back and forth?" I said, "A bus." And he said, "Oh, I can't believe it." So anyway, we're just talking small talk. It wasn't anything major, anything girlfriend, nothing,
Right.
But we would go out to the bleachers on a break, and he was smoking already, smoking cigarettes.
Okay.
And so the girls, he always wanted to impress the other girls. And I'm sitting next to him. He's smoking. So the cigarette gets down to like a butt, and he puts it out on my back. He puts the cigarette out on my back. And I didn't think anything of it at the time other than, what the hell are you doing?
Little spit first, little something.
Oh, no. There you go.
And you jumped, I'm sure. You jumped.
Well, yeah. I said, what the hell are you doing? That hurts, But it didn't make a mark. I didn't see any mark there, but still. It's a burn, And he not only did that once, he did it a couple of times. And I'm like, who does that? Really, who does that?
Yeah, I hear
and
you.
Then
who puts up with
me,
that?
then I don't say anything.
Right, exactly. Who does? Nice.
Yeah, I don't say anything. Well, look at the upbringing, coming forward. We didn't have talks back then about, girls and guys and what they do. I didn't know. I didn't have a clue. I didn't have a clue. I know if you,
Yeah.
I mean, I really, in my senior year, you're going to die with this one. I thought that if I held his hand, that I would get pregnant. I really thought that in high school. Okay. So then Jan Mittelhauser, she's older, more experienced, and she says at lunch in high school, she says, Linda. She goes, Linda. But see, I didn't have my period either until I was past 16.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. I met him at 16.
That's changed a bunch.
Yeah.
Having at 14.
Right. So I'm thinking, oh, geez, I didn't have my period. She's talking that stuff, and I've been with him, but not sexually. And I'm thinking, oh, God, I can't be pregnant. Come on. I'm in high school, for God's sake. Oh, yeah, that was traumatizing for me. So that Christmas, because I met him in June, that Christmas, I got my period. But my mom never talked to me about it, and I thought, I'm bleeding to death. I didn't have a clue. I'm laying in bed. I'm like, Mom, what's all this? So then she sat down and she told me, and okay, and that's going to be every month until whatever. And I said, okay, then. So here I am, the Christmas. I'm in bed. You know, my girlfriend calls. I said, no, I can't, because it wouldn't stop. I mean, eventually it stopped, but, you know. So anyway, I thank God, because I knew I wasn't pregnant from holding his hand at that point.
Wow. So yeah. Bleachers passed, all that.
Well, he was going to go to my high school graduation. All right. So that, back up a little bit. And he went to the high school graduation. And after the graduation, you usually have like a day after, a picnic or something. You know, people get together, the kids or whatever. So him and his friend, he had a girlfriend, and then I was with my guy, and I thought, okay, well, let's see what's going to happen here. You know, my mind was going, oh boy, because I saw blankets, and I'm looking like, what's going on? And I look over, and the guy and the girl, they're under the blanket, but I see the blanket moving, and I'm like, alrighty then. So I'm sitting there, laying on my blanket. Sleeping, right? No, I wasn't asleep. I was laying on the blanket, and he's talking to me, all his romance crap. And then he pulls the blanket over us, and I knew it was coming. So I had a zipper on my blouse, and he went to unzip it real slow, and I'm like, no. No, you're not going to do that. And so he said, well, okay, you know, so he didn't like that. I said, no, but whatever. And we got up, we all left, and I told him in the car, I said, I feel like a tramp. I said, you know, that's crazy, you know.
Wow. So bleachers passed, all that. Yep. You know, that's a little sign of
and then he told me a story about, because I was at his house, I would visit, you know, his family and everything, and I was at his house, and he said, I want you to know I had a girlfriend, her name was Emma. And I said, oh, okay, you know. And he said, well, I said, well, what happened? And he said, I got really angry and I threw dominoes at her face. Dominoes hurt. Those things hurt. And I said, you did what? He said, yeah, we were playing dominoes, me and my family, and she did something. I don't know, maybe she made a mistake or something, but he got really angry and he threw the dominoes at her. I'm like, whoa, okay. But I didn't, still, you know, clueless.
Yeah, it's weird how many signs are there.
And you just go over it because
all the time. I mean,
you know, he loves me.
you know what it kind of boils down to. I think that you tell yourself that I can't choose wrong. I didn't choose wrong. So that's where you kind of go with it. Is that I didn't choose wrong. No way, I can't be that wrong.
Well, I was looking at his family members too, and they were all very calm and I mean they're excitable.
Stories, I mean,
but not
anybody starts telling you that stuff is red flags, and I've seen a lot of them in my life and relationships, and it's just ignore them for stupid reasons. It's like what?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, it's true.
but
It's true.
love is blind, right?
Yes, very. Yeah.
Right. So, wow. First boyfriend, had your period, all this stuff's going on, everything's new to you. Never really seen violence, never seen the stuff in your own house, and no red flags at this point.
No.
A
No,
little
we
bit
went
if you know better, but
went to the
not
prom, everything. Mom bought a beautiful dress for me, and I loved it because I was very thin and worked out a lot, and I paid attention to my body and my hair and everything at that time, and I loved to be
do you remember how
tan.
much you weighed?
Oh, geez. About 125 maybe. I was 5'7",
5'7", 125.
but very, very thin. Yeah,
Wow.
you'll see the pictures when I show them to you.
Wow.
Yeah, so I look really, really pretty in this dress. I don't know what happened to it. It's sad because it was really pretty.
Uh-huh.
And
So, but before prom and all this, you're dating him.
Yeah.
He came to your house.
I
He
would
came
go
out to
Romeoville.
to see you.
I would go on the bus sometimes down to see him, you know. And one time my brother went with me, a younger brother, and we went to Harrison in California area.
I want to remind you because I thought it was interesting. You said he came out there with his parents to see you.
He did.
That's
he
like,
has. He had.
that don't happen anymore for sure.
Well, I told him my family wanted to meet
You keep
his
tapping your
family.
microphone. You can't.
What?
You keep
Oh.
tapping the microphone.
So anyway, the families wanted to meet.
He came out there to see you.
Yes.
With his family. That's
Yes.
that. Like
Yeah,
I said, it just doesn't
his
happen
brother
anymore.
his
That's
brother may have come because he's disabled, so
weird. Okay.
he may have come with them. But it went well. My mom and dad greeted them well. They all talked, got along, even broken English. It didn't matter. So that's building confidence in me in a
And then everybody
relationship.
went together. And
Yeah. And so
building confidence, but then too at a point making it harder for you to pull away from anything,
yes.
cementing your decision like,
Yes.
oh shit, I gotta keep on doing this,
Yes.
right? Because that's the guy I chose, and now we're this, and here we are.
Yeah.
You know, we got to get married.
Well, the love word was all in there, you know.
Right. So,
And you fall for that. I was young. I was 16. Very young. And yeah, because that's when I met him in 64, when I was 16. Okay.
Mhm.
So all of this stuff happens after. But
so prom.
my
happened.
mom noticed that he was walking back and
You
forth,
said
back
that
and
he
forth.
was pacing everywhere.
Yeah, by the window in my dining room. I'm like, I didn't know what was going on. He was just pacing, like so nervous, you know. And Mom said, "Why is he so nervous?" And I said, "I don't know. Maybe
First time or
it's
second
just the
time out, or
situation."
another
Yeah,
time? First time.
it was the first time.
Okay.
And then one time he brought his cousin with him, but his cousin looked almost black, but he wasn't, because there's different grades of color, I guess, in the Puerto Rican.
What year again? 60 what?
60,
63, 64.
about 60, 65 maybe.
So in the 60s, it's not.
Yeah, it's in the
Best
60s.
time
Oh
for
yeah.
racial relationships in
Yeah.
USA, right?
Right.
It wasn't
Right. No, it's
everything's
pretty
good.
It's pretty
all good.
rough. So, and I never experienced prejudice. I just like didn't even know what.
Parents never said
the heck is
anything.
that.
Nothing.
No.
Stay away from this type. Nothing like that.
Well, my dad was sitting in his car. Pete came out. This was on another visit, but Pete came out of the house, and he told my dad, he said, "I'm going to marry your daughter." And my dad said, "No, you're not." And he said, "I will marry your daughter." So you see, it's another flag right there. It's another flag. He was very hard with my father.
Right.
That no respect.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, whatever. So I'm thinking, oh, he loves me so much. He's fighting for me, Of course you're going to think that.
Right.
And so then when I did marry him, now after graduation, prom, all that stuff's all passed. We're in 65 now. I
Okay.
graduated in whatever, May, June, whatever, 65. I
Rushed
went to
into a
his
marriage.
graduation. He went to mine, and
Months later, got married.
he, not even months. Well, could have been, yeah.
After graduation.
No, it wasn't. I met him in June. I married him in freaking August.
What do you mean you met him in June?
I'm June 64
And at the
at the school. At the school. But then
you met him in summer school in June
mm,
64 and got married in August 64.
in 66,
Oh, okay.
after I graduated.
Okay.
So we're at graduation.
That's 2 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm 18.
Like, wait a minute. Like
I'm
2 months.
18.
Wait a minute.
And he was 19 at that point.
Okay.
So,
okay. But then you guys, so you spent
so he gave me a
2 years
ring.
dating, gave you a ring.
Yeah. And Mama, she said, "Are you sure you want to marry him?"
His mother asked you, "Are you sure you want to marry my son?"
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And I thought that's pretty strange.
Another flagger.
I'm like, alrighty then.
Last
I know now, but that was pretty strange. And so I took the ring, but I was the one that ended up paying for it because it was catalog, whatever. You know what I'm talking about? Magazine.
From a magazine.
Yeah, little,
Send you a bill
little
later.
set.
And
The set that I still have.
Wow.
Yeah. And so I'm like, okay, yeah. Mm-hmm. So 18 days later, we get married. August 1st, 1966. We went to the courthouse with his mom and dad because they had to sign for him.
Right.
He wasn't old enough to get married.
Right.
At 19, I was 18. So, and at that point, I had to tell my family that I got married. My dad went ballistic. He didn't say anything, but Mom said he drank himself
stupid.
stupid.
You didn't invite him. You didn't.
Oh no, it wasn't that kind of thing. Oh
Why
heck
not?
no, because I had already kind of run away from home. I cleared out my.
It went from him visiting with his parents to then him saying, "Come live with me." So he eventually says, "Come live with me. Come live with my parents. Get out of your house."
Right.
Your parents, however you flame you, they don't like me. They don't.
Yeah.
They're not for this.
Yeah.
We need to start our own thing.
But still, I was not real clear on if they liked, because they didn't put like a forceful. You're not going to be with this guy. Nothing. I mean, there's no talk. No nothing.
Okay. So nothing major.
So I'm thinking everything's okay. I'm getting married. But no, I did not invite anybody because, as
now you say you live with a friend.
I lived with a friend coming out of work every day. She worked with me.
And you were taking little by little out of your house.
Yes. Bag after bag.
Knowing you're going to go live with
this lady. Yes.
The lady, and then later get married.
And
maybe.
Yes.
Okay, so that's when you started moving out, getting your things out, spending more time with this lady, working downtown.
I was working downtown, yeah.
At Casualty?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, started working downtown, met this lady, started staying with her,
mm-hmm.
and then eventually Dad didn't like the person that she was with,
mm-hmm.
a guy, and asked you then to move in with him.
Yes.
At his mom's house.
Yes.
And then they probably said, well, you guys got to get married.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
You're going to get married then.
Well, we were talking about all of that at that time. Anyway. Yeah.
Okay, so there it is. So there you get married. Now you're married. Mm-hmm. And how long after you're married does he go to Vietnam?
18 days.
Okay,
we were
3
married.
weeks. Not even 3 weeks.
We were 18
3 days short of 3
exactly.
weeks.
So we got married on August 1st.
Uh-huh. And by
the 18th, 19th,
by September,
we went to the Greyhound bus station, and he got on the bus to go to California, because I think that's where all of them meet or whatever.
So that's where everything gets started, or all that stuff, military.
Yeah. So from there, from California, then he went to Vietnam.
He goes to Vietnam now.
For 1 year.
For 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
And you are living with his parents.
Yes.
With his parents. Now you're working downtown.
Yes.
And
sometimes I had 2 jobs,
right,
like during holidays and stuff. And I was paying them a little money, to stay there because, they were really nice to me and taught me, how to cook the food and everything. I mean, there was a lot, a lot of things I learned from them. And again, there was no fighting and arguing going on. It was calm. It was nice.
No fighting
being
and
with
arguing,
them.
but when he was in Vietnam, you were saving money.
Right. I saved money. I bought clothes for him because I knew he'd be very thin when he came home. So I put the clothes in, like the store kept it for me.
Okay, like a layaway thing, and they just kept it, and you paid it and kept it. So
we're talking shoes, socks, underwear, T-shirts, shirts, pants, everything. Anything he needed, I had it for him in this place.
But now, while you're doing that, his parents are communicating with him. His sisters are.
But I'm also buying things for myself.
Right. Of
and
course.
I'm going to tell you, at 19, buying things for myself was like heaven. I mean, you have to go along with your parents when they're buying your clothes and stuff.
Right.
But at that point, I was making my own money. I was paying for where I was living.
Right.
And I bought my own things, very nice things. And I didn't.
It felt pretty good.
Yeah. Oh, it felt really good. First time in my life, I just felt so alive, you know?
Right.
And thinking, married, you know, he's going to come home. Everything's going to be wonderful. He wrote me a letter, and he said that when I get home, I'm going to kill you.
Okay.
Why? Well, because you're spending like crazy over there, and you're not saving anything. Well, I was private. I didn't let all my business out there for anybody.
Uh-huh.
And
so to back it up a little bit, you're staying at this lady. What's her name?
Beverly.
You're at Beverly's house.
Mm-hmm.
Beverly's house with her husband.
Mm-hmm.
And you haven't seen him for a year.
Mm-hmm.
And now his cousin tells you he's in town.
Yes.
And you guys set up a meeting.
Yeah.
Right? Or does he come to the lady's house or what?
He came to the apartment with his cousin, and he said, "Come on, get your things. We're going. We're leaving."
For good, leaving, or just like
for good, leaving her apartment.
Okay, you're coming with me.
Yeah.
Right.
So I put things in bags. You know, I didn't have a suitcase. I just had bags.
Just put things together.
Yeah. I put my things together, and he said, "Let's go downtown." So we go downtown, meet at, we're at the art museum, and we walk over to Shed Aquarium.
Yeah.
And then he tells me, he says, "I know you can't swim." He said, "I could throw you right now in Lake Michigan." And I looked at him like, "Why would you do that?" He said, "Well, my parents told me this, my sister that, telling me, that you're spending like crazy." I said, "No." I said, "You really need to see what I've done."
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but he didn't. He never got the chance to see it because I got rid of it as soon as I smelled him like a rat. Like he's gonna hurt me.
You never showed his parents what you had?
No.
Never showed them bank stuff?
Nothing. No, I had a bank book. I showed him that. But the clothes, they stayed at the store until I picked them up and I took them to my brother, and I said, "Do whatever you want with it." Because at that point, I thought, no, we're not going to be together. But we're married, but still, Right. So then I had a car, nice Chevy, nice car. And I'm thinking, what in the world what am I going to do? What am I going to do? I work. I had plenty of things going good for me. And here he comes, and it's chaos, complete chaos. So
he was in Vietnam for a year.
Yes.
And had 3 kids.
Well, he had 1.5.
He had 2 kids.
Yes, he had 1.5.
In a year.
Yes. Well, he had one, the 9 months.
Touchdown, and have sex, have a kid.
And she's pregnant again. So by the time
where's their time for a war? I don't see time for a war.
Right.
Kids.
And who's thinking the same thing?
Soldier with boots,
right here. Yeah.
So,
but he told me some stories.
Some
bad stories, about
1 year, 2
what
kids.
happened to him. Mm-hmm. He's playing around. He's not. He's
not
on base.
You got to think of the time frame of it.
He's not on base. He kind of was like all over the place.
Even then, you touch down.
You would think,
you meet somebody, you have sex, and then 9 months later, you're still hanging around them, and you give them another child. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, you're in a war somewhere, and you're married.
Yeah.
And then you're the one receiving the letters.
Well, at one point, yeah, at one
Just-
point, yeah, he sent me
yeah.
a letter.
Little
He
backwards.
sent me a
little,
letter,
You know.
and he said that. What did he say? He said, I'm gonna see if I can bring this girl to America so she can live with us and be our housemaid.
Okay. So
Because
like
I guess
early 90-day fiance.
the other countries do a lot
early
of that.
90-day before the 90 days, huh?
Yeah, yeah,
Holy shit.
yeah.
The original.
He wants to bring this girl, and I talked to his mother, and I said, she goes, no way, he's not bringing anything.
Okay.
Don't worry about it.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, how could you know that? You know, I'm thinking in my mind, because that's mom. She knew. And he comes home, and he's got the lady's picture in his suitcase, and he's got lingerie,
Okay.
black and red
Okay.
lingerie. I remember seeing that. I'm like, oh my God, you're kidding me. I mean, it was just hitting everything just hitting like that, one thing after another.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay.
Well,
Mama told him, you get rid of that shit right now. Right now. And he did, because I never saw it again.
and tattoos.
Oh, that he got a tattoo here with a heart and stuff.
Of what?
And it said Toy Tit Lay.
Okay.
But he told me that it says I love Linda.
There you go. That was sweet.
Oh, yeah.
That was nice.
It was a lie.
Okay.
It was a lie.
What was it?
What he was saying was he loved her. Lay.
I love Lay.
Yeah. But it wasn't
I always
in
thought
English.
It was the kids' names.
No.
I always thought it was the kids' names.
Oh, you may know more than me at this point.
I thought it was the kids' names but then it was 3, and he said he had 2.
Yeah,
so
no,
he
there's
had
2.
3.
One was the boy. First one was a boy, and I don't know about the girl. If there was a girl, I don't know.
So the second one, but then there was another one in Germany.
Oh, yeah.
And another one in Chicago. So it's just weird that it doesn't bother you at this point that this is happening.
Of course. But we're not
This
arguing.
isn't normal. This is strange. I need to get the
I
hell
thought
out
it was
of here.
horrible. It was horrible.
But
I wasn't going to get a divorce that day
why not?
because I was in love with the guy. You know?
I know hindsight and everything else saying
Yeah,
crazy
I'm in
shit.
love with the
I
guy,
know.
you know, and I'm thinking he
You're not
really
the only
cares
one,
about me.
There's
Right. Because
one in 3 out there that are getting abused by somebody and not saying anything and da-da-da, and it's just, wow.
So I felt that he really loved me. He came home, he came back to me. We're going to be okay. That's how I always thought. I was always optimistic. Never thought about things negative and all that. And matter of fact, that's why he liked me, because I was calm and truthful and stuff. You know,
I don't know if that's naive or, I like you. You're real naive,
Yeah,
You're really
he didn't say that, but I'm sure
on.
that was in the plan,
I'm sure.
Yeah.
You had mentioned that. Actually, you mentioned that when you said that he liked you in that high school thing,
Mm-hmm.
that he liked you right away
Mm-hmm.
when he found out you were from Romeoville. And
Yeah.
in my mind, that rings a little bit like,
What
okay,
do I
so
say?
you were young, in love, and trying to make it work, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I'll give you that,
of
and
course.
just go ahead with it. We're going ahead, and then
Mm-hmm.
he
gets orders.
well, okay, but then Mama says you're going to get rid of this lady. You're not doing that shit.
Right.
That ain't
And he did.
happening.
Uh-huh.
Then he gets orders to go to Kentucky, right?
Uh-huh,
You said.
uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Yep.
And tell me about that.
Okay, that was in I don't know, like September, I think. He was home in August.
And no kids yet.
September.
No pregnancy, no
Right.
kids.
No. September. And I had a yeast infection, and I went to Army doctor. Army doctor says,
In Kentucky, right? So he got called to Fort whatever in Kentucky.
Campbell.
Fort Campbell in Kentucky. You're there for about a year now, more or less.
Yes.
And you get a yeast infection.
Yeah.
And the doctor
I never
tells
had
him-
anything like that before. So I go to the doctor, and the doctor says, he looks at him and he says, "You have a family problem. That's what you got."
Like you're sleeping around, you mean? Okay.
And Pete was always you're too friendly. You're too friendly with everybody. Cut it back a little.
But that's why he liked you from the beginning. But go ahead.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So I'm like, all right. Well, he says they're making up lies at the base
They're talking about it.
and putting lipstick on their shirt and their necks like you're with them. And I said, when? The base wasn't across the street. I said, no, not at all. So when the guy said family problem, we're in the little house that we rented now. We're talking about it, and he says, I have a gun. I'm like, yeah, okay. I didn't know this.
Okay.
He opens a drawer. He says, look, what's laying right there? It was like a Glock almost, I mean, it was a heavy duty gun. And I'm looking at this thing like, oh, okay, you have a gun. What?
Okay.
And that was that.
Right.
Because now we have family problem. He's thinking I'm this and that.
With the doctor.
Right.
He's thinking all kind of crazy shit, but in reality, he's the one that's been
maybe
doing everything crazy, and then he's reflecting on.
I don't know what he did in the army. I don't even know.
Yeah, you can imagine.
Saw a doctor.
So you're in Kentucky. You get a phone call from your mom.
Mm-hmm.
Your brother passed away.
Yes. Yes.